looks good. Bit of an update. Got the head in place. It's seated down nicely. It was actually harder to get the head in than I thought it would be in the end. My idea of having the old engine bolts, I didn't like it in the end, because this piece here, this lifting point, was pushing against all that stuff up there, and I couldn't get it to lower down on the bolts nicely. So, and I was scared that maybe one of the bolts could scratch the face of the head or something like that could happen. So I just got rid of them, and then that enabled me to lower it down and get it in nicely. I think that idea would work wonderfully if it was on an engine stand or something like that. That would be great, because you could just bring everything in nice and true. Anyway, just another learning curve. So I'll get these engine bolts, head bolts in, and then we'll read up on the sequence or the way that we torque the head down, and then we'll go from there. I've got all of the head bolts in and wound them down quite a few threads by hand, just to make sure they're all going in nicely. So I'm thinking what I'll do is just go through now and just get them nipped up a little bit, then I'll get the torque wrench onto it and follow the procedure as per the manual here. I'll take you through that as I do it. So at this point it's time to torque up the head. So head bolt tightening sequence. Step 1, 44 Newton meters. Step 2, 59 Newton meters. Step 3, plus 90 degrees. And it says there that that's for the TD42 TTI. So we'll follow that to the T, and yeah, we'll go from there. So that first one was 44. Newton meters, so that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 30, 40, 44. Alright, now there's a sequence on here too, and I'm guessing I just follow the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh yeah, okay, I can do that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 along. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's number 1. Okay, so 1, and then straight across to this one. Six. Is that it? Okie dokie. So that's the first sequence. So the second sequence is to 59 Newton meters. 59. So we'll adjust our torque wrench. So that's 30, 40, 50. Oh yeah, we're cranking it up now. 59. And we just follow the same sequence. So number 1 was 1, 2, 3, 4 along. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So that's 1. So the third step is 90 degrees. So I brought this thing from the store, and I have no clue how it works. Oh, I see. So you've got to hold. That's why you've got this doofer. You got to hold that in place while you turn the rest of it, and that will give you your degrees. Oh, I thought you might like to join me for the last one, 26. Where can we go for this one? 26. Here we go. Okay. Right. So in hindsight, I would have to say that having these paint marks on here is just gold. Like the few times that cheap degrees tool played up, it just gave me the confidence of where I was at, and I was like, oh, actually, it hasn't moved. I am only 30 degrees into my turn. Okay, I'm just going to stick with it, or whatever. And even just getting to 90 and then seeing the mark facing the front of the engine like that, and now I'm just scanning down all the head bolts are all facing forward. You know, I couldn't have done that if there wasn't a mark on them, so I'd highly recommend that. That's probably what everyone does anyway, so I haven't invented anything like usual. Well, in my mind, getting the head torqued down was just such an overwhelming task, so I'm just rapt to have that done. So the next thing would be to put the intake manifold back on, all the injector lines. I'm just thinking I sort of want to get to the injectors as soon as possible, because the longer that these are off, the more opportunity stuff has to fall down these holes. It's probably not the right order like usual, but anyway, I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to come over, do the rockers and what have you. Install my thermostat housing. and just, yeah, put everything back together.